Hi everybody, welcome to this week's Aspen 1 Hour Football Show on JTV. My name's David Rice, that's Josh Brigette. Josh, football season's flying by. I know I say it a lot, but we're 4 weeks in, and week 5 is coming up.
It's been an incredible start to the season. I mean, time flies when you're having fun, and that's what we're doing here in high school football in the Jackson area. We've had some really great games here on JTV. We got some still undefeated teams who are showing that they're really great football programs. We got some new Cascades Conference teams who haven't found a win yet. It's just been an exciting start to the year here at JTV.
Yeah, we still have, I believe, 3 out of the 4 new Cascades teams still looking for their first win since they've joined the Cascades. 5 teams still undefeated in the area. So we'll get to our Player of the Week, our picks, recapping last week's games, and so much more coming up. We'll get to the highlights soon on the Aspen 1 Hour Football Show. Don't go anywhere.
Here's what I can tell you about John. If you like it warm in the winter and cool in the summer, he's your guy.
Thanks, Mike.
Just going through John's workload today. Air system not blowing.
Typical.
System tune-up.
No problem.
Funny smell coming from vents.
Don't even ask. Found the problem.
Many problems, one solution. For service you can trust, call the pros at 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. So who's your guy?
MVP Sports has been providing the Jackson area with the finest custom apparel and select promotional items since 2006. We can take your corporate event, Employee Appreciation Day, or golf outing to the next level with expertly crafted shirts, hats, jackets, coolers, and even golf bags. As always, you can count on MVP for all your sports and school apparel too. No matter what your needs, MVP Sports has the equipment, knowledge, and expertise to make sure every order comes out just right. Whether it's embroidery or screen print, with outstanding customer service and design services, we make outfitting your crew or team a breeze. Stop in today and let's turn your ideas into reality. MVP Sports Store, 5000 Ann Arbor Road in Jackson.
Lester Brothers has been performing driveway installations for over 30 years. Crushed asphalt is one of our most popular driveway gravels and an overall Lester Brothers favorite. When spread properly, it can last for many years. It's 100% recycled, environmentally friendly, quarter of the cost of hot asphalt, dust-free, and ready for immediate use after construction. Contact Lester Brothers today for a free timely estimate for your future crushed asphalt driveway or parking lot.
Within the folds of your life, you find the passion and drive to keep pushing forward. Growth comes from continually moving ahead in every stage of life. Count on County National Bank to help with seamless financial solutions. We can act quickly and accommodate your needs, whatever life brings your way. Our local bankers understand our community and your goals.
Let's work together.
Learn more about our personalized banking services at cnbb.bank. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Aspen 1 Hour Football Show. Let's take a look at this week's highlights.
So Taub in the backfield with Raymond. Here comes pressure. Carruthers. Oh my goodness, Carruthers! One grab away from the defender. Good protection. Raymond, here comes the pressure. Go to the end zone. And just too deep. He had 2 receivers there. And I'd tell you, underclassmen.
Yeah, give you that stat here in just a second.
Nice swing pass.
Oh, ripped out. I think he was standing out of bounds.
I think so too.
Yep. That ball's going to stay with
they'll
Jackson
mark it,
because who recovered that was out of bounds, and that's what this is going to be. That's excellent work by the official, throwing his hat on the ground. That's when big plays happen.
Oh, the ball's out.
I think that's picking football. Gatewood put that on the ground after that carry. Comes out, and yeah, big number 77 comes up with that ball. We talked about him already, the defensive end, the senior, Hunter Weaver.
3rd and 15, Raymond, he's got time. This one, I was gonna say, this is picked off! Going the other way. Big time play Cardair Sumner down the sideline into the end zone. Vikings score.
64-yard defensive touchdown to get this game on the scoreboard, but that was just a great work. Great read with that ball in the air, and then the athleticism to jump up and get it, the strength to fight and pull that ball out of the hands of the wide receiver, and then the speed to get down and score in the end zone. Excellent work there.
On the sweep, no problem there. Why not? Into the end zones, the speedster Kyson Cooper. And look, you have a young team, you take those lumps. Carruthers snags it out of the air between two defenders. And look, this kid is gonna earn his place in the record. So 1st and 5. Raymond, look at this. Carruthers behind the defense, touchdown. Josh, you gotta be kidding me. This kid.
And that's what we just talked about. You got to be careful too. You got to put some your guys on him. You can't let him be by himself at the line of scrimmage, but then you got to watch over the top. And there they go. They take advantage of it. 37-yard touchdown pass, the first touchdown pass in the career.
He's got an angle he's got to hit. This one up. It's a good-looking kick. And that's 3 more points for the Vikings. Nice kick by Drew Blood. And with 1:22 to go, Blood gets the Vikings a little more breathing room with the field goal and 3 more points for the Pirates. Raymond, nowhere to go. Down goes Raymond.
Cawthorn again. Tristan Cawthorn, who's had just such an impressive first half from his defensive line spot, comes up, gets a huge sack there.
Low snap, Bush fields it cleanly. Looking downfield, he's got to run for his life. He'll keep it himself. Cuts back, and a shoestring tackle that time made by the Pirates. Owen Turner. 3rd down and long for the Pirates. Raymond's trying to find some extra help, and instead he is down in the end zone. Safety.
Who else?
Jackson Vikings.
Who else? Tristan Cawthorn, just fantastic tonight. That's his 3rd sack, this one for a safety. Just really impressive work there by Cawthorn. Coming from his defensive line position, gets an additional 2 points. Let's make this a 13-7.
And there they go. Carruthers just kind of got lost, and Raymond couldn't connect, so the Vikings hold, and they'll take back over with 3:14 on the clock on offense.
It's Atlantic community here.
Low snap, the end around.
It's going to be close, but I think just short of the Minuteman first down. It will be. Certainly some work to do for this Jackson offense as they prepare for Ibsen Community next week.
With that run, they're going to momentarily move the chains, but that run is going to take us to the end of the game, and our final score 13-7. The Vikings get this big win on Pink Night, and let's not forget, in memory of Amar Harrell.
Man in motion. Duffing will take the snap. He'll roll to his left. He will throw, and it is caught. He'll get down to the, looks like 3-yard line, and a big Minuteman on 1st and goal. Duffing takes the snap. He'll hand it off to his right, and he is in the end zone. Touchdown, Manchester. They are on the board first.
Bubba Duffing with the score. Very impressive job for start of the game with 8:08 to go in the first quarter, 6-0. Starting off the drive with a unnecessary penalty, 15-yarder. And they do the swinging gate also.
Go for it. 4th and 5 from the 43. Bradley will roll to his right.
Right here, down here.
Pressure's coming. He's got to get rid of it. He does. Van Poppel.
He got it.
Comes down with it. What a catch. Holden Van Poppel.
I don't think so.
On 4th and goal from the 1.
He's going to throw it.
He's going to throw it. Roll to his right. It is.
Got it.
Caught. Touchdown. Holden Van Poppel and Noah.
Throw the ball here.
Here we go on 2nd and long. Duffing. He's looking. He's going to keep it, and he's hit.
Oh, the ball's loose. Number 64 caught it in the air.
You mentioned it.
Guess
Smith.
who that was? Poppel's in motion.
Van Poppel in motion. Bradley will drop
Look
back.
at him go. Look at Van Poppel.
He's
Long
throw.
one.
Van
He's got him
Poppel's
beat.
Open, and he comes down with it. Another great catch. Holden Van Poppel, first down.
You know, David, when you have a quarterback who can throw 90 miles an hour in baseball, and then you have a receiver who is the #1 hurdler in the state, I mean, you can't beat that. That's
First and goal from the 1. Bradley handoff to Mason Roth. Touchdown, Napoleon.
Got it.
What an answer. Manchester looked like they were going to.
He's going to throw. Get
It's
it.
3rd and 8. Duffing will throw it deep
one.
under pressure.
That's a junker.
It's intercepted. Cooper Wires. He'll try to return it. He's got room.
He's got blockers.
Wires, he's got blockers.
Look at Van Poppel right in front of him.
And he is.
He's going to score.
Gonna score. Napoleon on a pick 6.
Wow.
Cooper Wires. Bradley will take the snap. He is going to roll to his right, and he is going to throw. It's caught.
Guess who?
Van Poppel. He's open. He's got some.
Bye-bye.
He stays in bounds.
David, he
touchdown, Napoleon. Bradley will take the snap.
Nope.
It's a end around. It's a jet sweep.
Get in there.
Will he get in?
Yep.
He will. Touchdown. Holden Van Poppel. 2 or 3 weeks. Duffing will hand it off. This is Sloan.
Whoa,
he's open. Touchdown. Flying Dutchman from the 29-yard line. Bradley will roll. He's going to throw deep into the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, Cooper Wires. And Napoleon puts the dagger in.
What a...
Duffing, he'll hand it off to Sloan up the middle.
Look
He's
at
got
him.
some room. Extra effort. Cuts around to the outside.
He's still not down, Dave.
Still not.
He's still
going. Look at that.
Not good.
Touchdown, Manchester.
Not good for Napoleon.
They are going to run a play. Hand off to Jennings. He stopped. That's going to do it. That's the last play.
That should do it, David.
42-21, Napoleon, number 8 in Michigan, knocks off the number 3 Flying Dutchman of Manchester.
And those were this week's highlights. Josh, let's start with the game that you and Joel had live on JTV. Jackson 13, Pinckney 7. Coming into that game, I don't think we expected it to be low scoring. Jackson did pull out the win, but again, not much offense from that action on Friday.
No, not at all. I mean, it was an ugly football game. That's what it was. But you got to appreciate Jackson who can go and win an ugly football game. And I just tell you, no offensive touchdowns for Jackson. That was incredible. They scored on the pick 6. Carter Sumner had a fantastic interception. Just loved seeing that play. That was spectacular. The Drew Blood field goal, and then the safety by Tristan Cawthorn, who was just a dominating presence on defense all night long. 3 sacks, number of tackles for loss. He was really special. But that was the scoring recap, and it was incredible against a team in Pinckney that was giving up 43 points a game on the season, that really came in and played a much better defensive game against Jackson. But I just appreciate Jackson's ability to fight through all of that adversity and get the win.
Yeah, and it was on, of course, the Pink Viking game for Jackson as well as a good win for them. It was low scoring, but a win's a win, right? Yeah. 13-7. The other game we had on JTV, Napoleon and Manchester. Coming into this, Manchester number 3, Napoleon number 8. Napoleon winning big at home, and going into that game, I picked Manchester to win, but Napoleon just flat out much better team.
Yeah, I mean, I picked Napoleon to win. I thought they'd win the ball game, but I didn't think they'd win the way they did. And impressive performance by the offense for Napoleon. Grant Bradley, again, another really good game. He had 229 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. He was special, but a great defensive effort by Napoleon. I think that's really the difference that caught my eye. Holding Manchester their lowest offensive production of the season. Thought that was an impressive game for Napoleon's defense to come out and be pretty stout. Gave up 28 points. But really, defense dominated that football game for Napoleon.
Yeah, Grant Bradley, you talked about him. Big game. He had 3 touchdowns, 229 yards. Cooper Wires had a touchdown in the pick 6, which was our play of the game. Van Poppel last year was, of course, the big receiver for Napoleon, and now they're really starting to share the love more, and a lot of guys are stepping up for the Pirates.
Yeah, and you think about Napoleon, too. They're 4-0 now in the season, and they've won their last 13 regular season games. Just what Derek Shell is doing out there in Napoleon and how his kids are responding. Really impressive start to the year for Napoleon.
And another team that's still undefeated, Grass Lake, got a big win over East Jackson, 42-8. Braden Lape and the Warriors continue to play great football.
Yeah, I mean, Lape had 4 touchdowns, over nearly 300 yards passing. He was spectacular. That was just a big win over East Jackson. We talked about how East Jackson wanted that game last week, and Grass Lake just shut that down quickly. You think about Luma Christi, too. Impressive start to their season, impressive start to their Catholic League season with a big win over Jesuit, 28-6. I thought that was really impressive.
Yeah, and that's a really talented Jesuit team. That's a great win for Lumen. Addison got a win over Columbia. Concord lost to Maple Valley. Jonesville got their first win. We talked about it earlier. 3 out of the 4 Cascades teams. The new one's still looking for a win, but that's a good win for Jonesville.
Yeah, no doubt. Good to see them finally get a victory here in the Cascades Conference. They get in the win column, so it's a good start for them. Then let's look at the I-8. I'll tell you, Western, they played fantastic. 48-0 win against Gull Lake. And then Northwest, we challenged them last week. After a really tough game against Harbor Creek, they come out and go get a road win, come from behind victory against Penfield, Battle Creek Penfield. I thought that was really good for Stafford Newsom and his team to respond the way they did on the road and earn a victory in the I-8.
Yeah, Michigan Center and Western also had 2 big wins this week as well. Coming up, we'll get to our game picks, our player of the week, and much more. Stay tuned for more of the Aspen 1 Hour Football Show.
You never think about a good tow truck service until you really need one. Jimmy's Towing and Auto Repair in Jackson will be there for you in a flash. Our technologically advanced GPS software enables us to pinpoint your location and dispatch the closest truck to assist you in no time. Jimmy's has the largest towing and rescue truck fleet in the area, and we have the right equipment for any towing need. When you need help in a flash, call Jimmy's. Jimmy's Towing and Repair in Jackson.
The PIC Center is an independent practice that has provided care to the Jackson area for over 25 years. Doctors O'Neill and Cack supervise antibiotic infusions, as well as those for many other conditions, such as inflammatory bowel, joint, and lung disease, anemia, and multiple sclerosis. Our modern facility is open 7 days a week, and the infusion staff will make you feel right at home. Let your doctor know you have a choice where you receive your next infusion. Remember, when you've picked us, you've picked the best.
At Consumers Energy, we believe change is empowering, powering both your home and your business. Change is progress, with a modernized grid that can detect outages and restore power within seconds. Change is reliable. We're talking preventing over 35,000 outages last year reliable. And change is enduring, like our dedication to keep your power running, just as it should. Consumers Energy, a force for you, a force of change.
When you need metal, and you need it now, Alro Metals Outlet is here for you. When your back is against the wall, our vast inventory of aluminum, steel, plastics, and more will help you get the job done. Whether you're a professional or do-it-yourselfer, our retail stores are your one-stop shop for metals. You select it, we cut to length, and shear to size. Right here, right now. Because when you need metal, Alro Metals Outlet has your back.
Welcome back here on the Aspen 1 Hour Football Show on JTV. David Rice, Josh Burgett with you. Josh, it's time for the game picks. Let's get right into it. Concord hosting Sutton's Bay. Sutton's Bay making quite a trip down to Concord.
What's your pick?
Well, I'm going to go with the Yellow Jackets. They're both 2-2. Concord coming in averaging 28 points a game, and I'm going to take the Yellow Jackets at home.
All right. I agree with you. Quite a trip. 480 miles round trip. Sutton Bay is going to make that trip down to Concord. Interesting game. Tough loss for Concord last week to Maple Valley. But this Sutton's Bay team giving up 35 points a game, and I think that defense is just not going to be able to stay with Concord. I like Concord, their offensive production, to get the win. Quincy travels to Columbia Central, which I think is an interesting game. Columbia Central might be the best 1-3 team in the area. They've struggled. They've found ways to lose games, but I think in this game against a Quincy team that is just giving up far too many points, they have not been able to score. They're giving up over 40 points a game. I like Columbia Central to get a win.
Yeah, Quincy's coming in 2-2. They had a close win over Springport last week. Columbia coming in again 1-3. Talked about that, best 1-3 team in the area. I'm going to take Quincy. The Orioles coming to Columbia Central and getting a victory. East Jackson and Michigan Center. Michigan Center, of course, had the big loss to Lumen to start the season. They've won 3 games since then. I like the Cardinals at home.
I do too. I think Troy Allen's got his team playing really well. You talked about it, 3 straight games in a row. I like that. East Jackson just hasn't been able to score enough, and I don't think they're going to be able to do that against Michigan Center's defense, who hasn't been stout. They haven't been great, but they're going to have an opportunity to show how good they can be against East Jackson this week. Look for Michigan Center to get the win at home. Napoleon Grass Lake, we just talked about it. Another 2 undefeated teams. They're going to be 4-0 going into this game. I think a lot of people would like to say this is the Braden Lape, Grant Bradley show, and I just don't think that's going to be the case. I think you're going to see good performances out of both of them. Both teams want to pass the ball. I'm not sure either one of them are going to be able to establish a really strong running game. I think this game's going to come down to defense. What defense can get stops, what defense can get pressure on the quarterback, and turnovers will be huge in this football game. I think Napoleon has proven it against a tougher schedule thus far. Napoleon's defense was big last week against Manchester. I think they're enough against Grass Lake. I like a really good game, a close game, but Napoleon goes and gets a road win.
Yeah, there's so many more factors in this game versus just Braden Lape and Grant Bradley. Grass Lake, Napoleon, of course, both coming in undefeated, two of the top teams in the Cascades East. And this is a gimme. I mean, either way, this could be a confident pick, but the way Grass Lake's been playing and doing really well on offense, I'm going to take Grass Lake, the Warriors, at home to continue being undefeated. Leslie and Manchester, we just talked about them, big loss to Napoleon last week. There's still a great football team, of course, and Leslie, of course, going on the road to Manchester, but I'm going to take the Dutchmen at home.
I like that pick. I think this is a chance for a really good football game. Leslie started the year 2-0, got some really big wins, and then struggled the last 2 weeks. They only have one common opponent. That opponent is Stockbridge. Both teams won, but I'll tell you, Leslie won that game by a larger margin, about 3 scores. They won that game. Everything tells me pick Leslie. But I feel like Manchester's going to come in with a lot of motivation after that Napoleon loss last week. I think at home, Manchester gets it done, even though Leslie's still looking for that first Cascades Conference win. Hanover-Horton against Homer. Both teams are 0-4. Both teams have really struggled to find an offense. Neither one of them have really been able to establish a good defense. But Hanover-Horton, tough schedule. They've been competitive in most of those games. I like Hanover-Horton to get their first win of the year.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Comets as well, going to Homer and getting a victory. Hanover's really, both teams have struggled, of course, to start the year, but I like Hanover on the road. Addison, Jonesville. Addison coming in, of course, still, I think, arguably the best team in the area, and they're going to Jonesville, and I like the Panthers on the road.
Yeah, I mean, Jonesville just in their first 4 games haven't really shown the ability to stop anybody, and you're facing an Addison offense that's averaging 55 points a game. Coach Josh Lindeman has this team roll, and they look like the Addison of old, and I think it'll just be too much for Jonesville. I think Addison on the road, everything they do, defense, line, running the football, that travels well, and I think it will travel to Jonesville and get a victory in this game. Ypsilanti Community against Jackson. Ypsi just hasn't been able to get consistent offense going all season long. Jackson struggled with offense last week. I think they will spend a lot of time on that in practice, and I think Jackson will have a much more explosive effort on the offensive side of the football. I like Jackson to go and get a big win, their 4th in a row.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at what happened last week, again, not much offense in that game. Coming in, they'll be much more motivated to move the ball on offense, and I like the Vikings from Jackson at home. Northwest versus Western, the big rivalry. It's Western's homecoming. We're going to have that this weekend on JTV. We'll get to the broadcast in just a few minutes. But Western, again, they're one of the teams still undefeated. And with it being homecoming and rivalry, that's going to add the extra motivation for the Western Panthers, and I like them.
Yeah, Northwest offense has struggled a little bit this year, and they're facing a defense that's really stout. Western's defense giving up only 8 points a ball game. They've been really good, really strong all year. Their offense has been clicking, 35 points a ball game. I like Western in this game. It's home. It's homecoming. I think they're the better football team. And I just look at this. The Panthers will get their 9th straight win against their rival team in a really good environment, which should be a fun game. The live game we have for you Friday night, Divine Child, another Catholic League game. Divine Child's going to make the trip down here to Lumen Christi. I think this has a chance to be a really good game. Lumen Christi is still dominating so far. A good win last week against Jesuit. They're outscoring teams 139-6. Jesuit finally put some points on the board against this Lumen Christi defense, but Titans are just too good, in my opinion, for this Divine Child team. I think it'll be a tough test for the Titans. You can't overlook them, certainly, but the way that the Titans are running the football, the way they use that opportunistic play-action pass, and the way their defense has been playing, I just think they're too strong at home. I like the Titans to remain undefeated.
Absolutely. I'm going to take the Titans at home. And again, a couple weeks ago to start the season, Western beat Divine Child. Divine Child playing another Jackson area team. Lumen Christi still only giving up 6 points. They're going to continue to stay undefeated and go to 5-0. Well, coming up, we'll get to our broadcast schedule for this week, our player of the week, and much more. Stay tuned for more on the Aspen 1 Hour Football Show.
The Chase is the hottest spot in Jackson. They're sure to have something for everyone. Large open dining spaces are available that are perfect for any team gathering, offering delicious handcrafted pizza, available in hand-tossed or thin crust, flavorful wings blasted with your favorite sauce, and Angus burgers that'll make any fan's mouth water. The Chase, the perfect place to spend the big game.
For over 35 years, Nostalgia Inc. has been Jackson's home for all things comics, graphic novels, and games. Whether it's Spider-Man, Batman, X-Men, The Walking Dead, or even Stranger Things and Star Wars, Nostalgia's friendly staff has decades of experience and can find the perfect gift for that fanatic in your life. With the largest selection and inventory of the latest comics, you're always sure to find something new and different at Nostalgia. Looking for something from years back? Our backstock selection can't be beat. And don't forget to ask about our subscription service so you never miss an issue. Into Magic the Gathering, D&D, Pokemon, or tabletops? We've got everything you could ever need. Whether you're starting a new hobby, a seasoned collector, or just shopping for that superhero in your life, Nostalgia Inc. is the place for you. Nostalgia Inc. on Mechanic Street in downtown Jackson.
Performance Automotive Northwest. We do way more than auto parts. We've got new lawn equipment from John Deere and Honda, chainsaws and trimmers from Steel and Husqvarna, 2 John Deere ready-to-mow mobile service trailers to make repairs quick and easy for you, and of course our bumper-to-bumper parts selection for almost every vehicle. We really do have it all. We'll even fill your propane. Performance Automotive Northwest, proud to be independent and locally owned for 35 years. Visit us today on Airport Road in Jackson.
When you have a sewer or drain issue, make the call to Minuteman Sewer and Drain. Sure, we all want to be the guy that can get under the sink and get the job done. Trust us, we know it's not for everyone. Call the experts at Minuteman Sewer and Drain for 24/7, 365 same-day emergency service. Let us be the ones to get under the sink. Let Minuteman Sewer and Drain take care of the clogs or debris and get you flowing back to normal. When you don't have time to waste, call Minuteman Sewer and Drain, 783-9952, or online at MinutemanSewer.com. Minuteman Sewer and Drain. We open drains others can't.
Welcome back to the Aspen 1 Hour Football Show on JTV. It's time for our Willis and Macknick Player of the Week. Cooper Wires from Napoleon had a big night against Manchester.
The senior two-way player for the Pirates had a big night in their 42-28 win over Manchester. Wires electrified the crowd with an athletic 50-yard pick six to provide a touchdown for the Napoleon defense. The senior wide receiver also added 5 receptions for 74 yards and a 12-yard touchdown reception, cementing a big impact on this Cascades Conference game on both sides of the ball. Congratulations to the Napoleon Pirates and starting the year 4-0, and Cooper Wires for earning this week's Wilson Macknick Player of the Week.
Congratulations to Cooper Wires and a great game for Napoleon getting a big victory over Manchester. Let's take a look at our IEP Urgent Care broadcast schedule for this weekend. We'll have Divine Child and Lumen Christi live on JTV. I know you'll be at that game. Me and Mason Kaiser will be at Western for the Panthers and Northwest Mounties rivalry. You'll see that this weekend again here on JTV. Josh, Week 5, a lot of great matchups still to come left in our area, and it's time with the new playoff points system for the end of the year and the postseason. Every game is important, and this is where it starts to really come into play.
It certainly is, and now you're also starting to see Cascades conference standings all across the board. I look at the Cascades of this week, another undefeated matchup against top teams, Grass Lake Napoleon, who's going to get that edge to take the top end of the East Division. Excited to see that. But we got some really great games. We're going to see 2 great ones on JTV this weekend, and we'll get to recap all the rest of the games around the county this week.
Absolutely. 5 teams still undefeated. We'll see how many of those continue to stay undefeated going into next week. That's the Aspen 1 Hour Football Show. That's Josh Brigette. I'm David Rice. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.